Okay. So
Okay.
good afternoon. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. I am sure people will be joining slowly. And in any case, we are recording this session. Whoever wants to watch later on and learn more about Who's Cooking platform, brand new, very futuristic idea. But I will let Manisha tell you all about it. Before we begin, I would like to introduce Wholistic Health Alliance very quickly. So, Wholistic Health Alliance is the non-profit platform on the platform of which we are hosting today's community talk. So, Wholistic Health Alliance is a 501c3 non-profit which is nationally launched. We have two state chapters currently, one in Massachusetts, one in Colorado. And our primary goal was to create a unified platform for every practitioner that is offering something that is non-chemical. So non-chemical ways of health and well-being, not just medicines, but the wholesome spectrum of well-being, which includes the mental, emotional, social well-being as well, in all aspects of living healthy, which include food, um, lifestyle choices, mental health, emotional health. So all aspects of our social well-being as well as physical and physiological well-being. All of those who are offering, we wanted to create a unified platform to offer visibility to them and their practices onto one unified platform. So that was the primary goal. But we also parallelly focus on educating the community about these ways of healthy living and wholesome living, because most often people are not utilizing these resources because they do not know about them. So even for the practitioners, we encourage that they should go out, give talks like this, write articles, so that we can educate the community about what else is out there, in addition to just, always reaching out to pills or, something chemical, something artificial. So that these two are kind of the main goals. And over a period of time, I have also launched something that is really dear to my heart, which is the Youth Brigade. And the Holistic Health Alliance Youth Brigade is doing amazing right now. In less than a year's time, last year, our Youth Brigade launched Teen Mental Health Initiative. And in less than a year, they have been instrumental in opening 5 mental health focused high school clubs, which is huge. It is, everyone knows it's a very burning topic, the stress that the teenage population is under, and what kind of challenges they face in terms of not being able to talk about it, etc. So I'm just going to now quickly show you the 2 flyers of these 2 categories of memberships that we have. Very, very nominal memberships, but you get to be showcased. I feature one practitioner or practice every month. So this is about the general membership for Holistic Health Alliance. And then I will also quickly show you for the Youth Brigade. If you're watching anytime later also, and if you have a youth, this is a wonderful nonprofit engagement opportunity for the youth. We provide volunteer hours, and our youth are doing an amazing job. And the second project that we are just cooking it right now, it's the food project. So it will mostly be launched under the title of Food Matters. So Manisha, something food related coming from the youth side also.
Good to hear.
Yes. So they will be able to look at your platform as well, because it's not just enough to know what needs to be done, but who is providing it is also equally important. So with that, I welcome today's member community talk by Manisha, who runs Who's Cooking, an amazing platform that I have already had the opportunity to use once, and I'm waiting for, we have Gitanjali Srivastava who has joined, so I'm waiting for her to her profile to get active with her services being offered. So I will certainly be reaching out to
Sure.
who'scooking.com quite a bit, but I will now hand over to Gitanjali. You want to say hi?
Hey, I was out, but I wanted to join in and listen to all you wise ladies share
Oh.
your thoughts. Yes, and you will very shortly get me on the platform, Pratibha, and I'm looking forward to cooking, especially given what the platform is. It's so well connected to what we all do and are passionate about cooking and about women and about health. And I'll let Manisha take over, but it's a great way of connecting and making the world a better place.
Yes, while enjoying the food, right?
While enjoying the food,
Yes.
while knowing the source, while knowing how honestly it's been cooked. And
Yes.
I think, again, sharing the heritage and the culture and unifying the world in that way.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And that's exactly the philosophy we are looking for. And nothing better than getting the food directly from the kitchen. What can get better than that?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So amazing
Thank
vision,
you.
Manisha. Go for it. I will let Manisha introduce herself and her
Sure.
platform. Please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So I'm lucky to have Gitanjali also by my side through this venture. So I consider myself quite blessed. I am Manisha, and I am not a practitioner actually of any Ayurvedic background, but I know a few things. I am a mother of 3. I am raising a family in an extremely busy world. I have very little time to provide the amount of nutrition and care and love that my grandparents probably gave to us and our mothers probably did for us. And I think the youth brigade, Pratibha, that you're launching, perhaps will face those same challenges because the world is definitely not the same that it was previously. But what I do know is in raising my children, that food is thy medicine. The one thing that you did when you introduced Wholistic Health Alliance is you said, we welcome all practitioners that use anything that is non-chemical based. I will tell you, my middle son has extreme, he gets asthma quite a lot and a lot of respiratory illnesses. So when he was very young, rather than put his body through steroids and a lot of medication that typically is prescribed to asthmatic patients, which is needed at times. But there were things that we did when I was younger and that I looked back and I would call my mother and, look back and see what my aunts would have used. And I used turmeric. I used all of the things that they would have done to do and heal inflammation, which is one of the primary causes of asthma. So as I was doing that, raising the children and cooking and trying to do everything else, I noticed that people like myself were really in need of having good, nutritious food, being able to be connected to people in the community. And like you mentioned, really knowing who is making that for you. When you get mostly what happens in this day and age, and I think you all would agree with this, is there's a lot of preservatives, number one, in most of the products that are found in grocery chains, including some of our bigger grocery chains like a Whole Foods, which they say probably isn't, it still is pretty laden with it. What typically happens with the things that have been sitting even on the prepared section is that they have been staying there for quite a while. And it's still on a nutritional scale, not exactly what we're seeking. The cooks on our platform, we reach out to them because we believe at Who's Cooking that there is great benefit and demand for locally cooked, authentic food made by a surrounding community. We also believe that there are many people in our community that can earn access to earn income by participating in what they love to do without the expense of infrastructure, opening yet another big restaurant, opening yet another big sort of factory to produce meals of some sort. In the end, it's small-scale micro enterprises that we are supporting. These are important tools for people who want to grow their business, who probably would not have sufficient capital to do if they entered the commercial food industry. So what's in it for, Susan or anyone else that might want to order food through our platform? Well, we keep heritage prospering through food. Most of the cooks, if you go to whoscooking.com, do come from some cultural backgrounds, or they're looking back at some heritage that they might have. We all in this country are immigrants of some sort. So whether you have an Italian background, background. Whether you have an Irish background, Indian background, or you come from anywhere that you might have wanted to look back and say, what was it in my culture that I can share with my community? When these cooks share their food they grew up eating, they share a piece of history with the community, and in turn, they keep it alive for generations ahead. So the children in the youth brigade, or my children, when I feed them khichdi, which Pratibha, I remember this event that Wholistic Alliance hosted, and you had given these packets of khichdi masala, which is basically a mixture of lentils and rice. And I prepared it for my children. And I'd say when we were not feeling that well, or when our stomach wasn't feeling like we could eat anything heavy, my mother would always give us this because it was easily digested. So maybe when they grow up and they have children of their own, they may remember this, and maybe I've passed on one more piece of myself and my history that they probably can use. Not only do you get this wonderful food that is freshly cooked, so most of our cooks, we do encourage them to obviously shop local, and shop seasonal. We are trying to do sort of meetups with farms. So if there's local farms in the community, maybe they can buy fresh vegetables and produce from there and use that. We want to encourage them to think like we do, which is that the food that they're cooking helps their consumers eat wholesome and better type of meals. The platform is a website right now. It will be an iOS app, which will soon be launching, so much easier to use, hopefully, than even it is right now. But it is one consolidated platform. So where you may not be able to find Cambodian food or African food or Indian food or Pakistani or Chinese, Brazilian, Filipino in one place, this is the one place. And all of these people, you can see their faces, you kind of have some sort of a connection with them. Their grandmothers, their mothers, they're maybe coming from a chef background of some sort, but would like to do this without being forced. In a restaurant, oftentimes you try to cater to a large amount of people. So you have to please higher volumes of people, and you don't get to use the creativity in the sense that you would really like to do. So in this platform, they're merely cooking for 10 people. It's like a private chef, basically, at your fingertips. They're only cooking 10 or 20 or 15 dishes of some sort, and you can order from them, and it's easily delivered to your doorstep also. So for them, to leave, and some of the cooks in our platform have this, they either don't drive, it's hard for them to leave their house at times. So we arrange for delivery so that it can be easier and directly from them to you. We take care of all of the payment processing through a secure method called Stripe, which is when you use a credit card online these days, it goes through very securely. It goes to the cooks directly. We also help them with designing their menus. We help them with making sure that the containers they use are friendly to our planet. They're not the cheapest plastic that you can buy. We support containers actually through World Centric, which is a B rate, Corp B, which is, they support compostable and recyclable containers, and they have given our cooks a discount from ordering from them. So we tried, and we've done a lot of testing with these containers also. They hold up pretty well with hot foods and liquid foods as well. We do vetting on the cooks. The cooks do have to get food safety certificates, and that's for the well-being of our consumer base. We want to be able to provide you with that assurance that we are doing due diligence at the same time. If they have any problems with gaining a food certificate, we help them. We let them know, look, if English is a problem, if language is a problem, we're here to support you. We will work with you in this, but you need to handle food safely as well. They also do a food sampling with one of our private chefs on the platform, so that we know that that's also some vetting that we do. And all of this is to safeguard public health in general, but also to make them enabled in a good way on the platform, to give them enough training that they're able to sell these products safely. So I'm going to share a very brief presentation, but I'd like this to be a conversation. So definitely, just let me know where I can answer questions, Susan, or even you, Pratibha, because I know you've used the platform once, but if there's anything that you'd like to ask about, please do. So we talked about what we are. We are an online marketplace and actually I'll put this from the beginning. Just a little bit, I guess I can step back for a moment. A little bit about me just on a personal scale is I am not a chef, like I mentioned. I am definitely a mother. That's part of why I got into what I'm doing right now. It's my own, I think we design businesses or we design ways when we know that the need for us exists, and that's how we ourselves lead ourselves into going to some sort of a venture. I knew my family needed local cooked, healthy options for food. And I wanted my heritage, and which is of an Indian background, to be given to my children. So that's how I sort of got into Who's Cooking. There were other reasons. From a background, I have a technology background. I have a BS in Information and Computer Systems and a master's in Telecommunications. I worked over 20 years for a major corporation here in the Boston area. But my family owned a very well-reputed Indian restaurant for 20 plus years in Pittsburgh also. And I have also run some other food-based businesses, which gave me the expertise to launch Who's Cooking. And Who's Cooking, again, it's a marketplace, an online marketplace where people can order authentic homemade dishes made by individuals who love to share their passion for cooking with their local community. You, as a consumer, when you buy from Who's Cooking, you not only get this great tasting and authentic food, but you also give a path for these home chefs to gain economic independence. And I had spoken about, we believe that there is great demand for locally cooked authentic food. We also believe that more people need access to earn income, and the small scale micro enterprises is a much needed tool for most communities. So the vision behind someone who would want to cook on the platform, when Gitanjali and I and others on my team really look for chefs, we're surprised ourselves from more than what the bullet points here show. Some of them are actually professionals. They might be professors, they may be teachers. They come from professional backgrounds, but it's their love of cooking and their love of sharing it's an art form with the community that brings them to this platform. So I think when we initially started thinking about this, we were thinking they may be stay-at-home parents, or they may be non-English speaking, individuals, or unemployed chefs, or grandparents, or mothers, or even members of nonprofit organizations, who we are seeking out. But many are from a professional background, and they're really just merely doing this because they're good at it. And two, they really do want to share a piece of their heritage with the community, and without opening a restaurant and without opening some sort of a commercial venture. This last bullet that we speak about, members of nonprofit organizations, what I will say is, we're doing a lot trying to reach out to many types of nonprofits, from, an Afghan refugee situation to domestic abuse individuals, and we will work with them to see what we can do to enable them on the platform. And those individuals, hopefully we can make that happen, and hopefully they also gain some economic standing using the platform. So food safety I spoke about, and I do want to make sure that Susan and other people that are watching this know that we make sure that these cooks are taught the best practices, and they are setting standards before selling on the platform. They do go through an application process. They go through a Serve Safe program. They also do a food safety, but food quality check with a private chef. As far as the laws go, currently laws in 49 states, including Washington, D.C., allow for cottage food sales. But laws like cottage food sales vary widely as to what types of foods and producers and sales they allow. Massachusetts in 2000 actually was one of the first states in the United States to pass the cottage food law. which is great because it is a progressive state. But despite this statewide residential kitchen law, some Massachusetts municipalities use zoning rules to restrict cottage food sales. And this is actually old, I'm noticing, but I started a petition last year in the city of Boston, and I worked for City Councilor Julia Mejia. And there was a hearing in which I spoke and advocated on behalf of these home cooks. And as of now, this has actually already been passed. So which means that now anywhere in the state of Massachusetts, you are allowed to cook all foods pertaining to cottage food. That still restricts you to cooking certain types of food, but we are working with them to make sure that that list of food products is expanded. So I'm a passionate advocate of this. These are regulations that are actually derived from something called food freedom laws. And food freedom laws exist in Vermont, in Maine, in Utah, Colorado, and some sections of California already. We see a big movement for food freedom laws passing through other states in the United States, and we're following up very closely with them. So I hope to see this in Massachusetts very soon also in a fully enabled scale. So that's it for the presentation. What I'd like to do is see if I can take some questions, or Pratibha, if you'd like to just have a conversation with me, maybe, and ask questions on behalf of others who may be watching this as a recording. Maybe we can, I can answer those for them.
Yeah, so I think I would like to first ask Susan or Gitanjali if you have any questions, and I can ask on the behalf of people.
I don't know if I have any questions. I am very impressed with what you have to say. I think that it covers a lot of aspects of a lot of people's concerns at times. You cover the plastics that you use, that they're safe. I'm very interested in hearing more that you have to say, and I think that it all sounds very good to me.
Thank you, Susan. So Susan and Pratibha, actually, since we're recording this, what I did want to do is just give you a brief demo of how the website is working right now. Would that be okay? Just to,
Yeah.
There's just a few things that I wanted to share.
Yes.
So let me just pull this up. So when you first go to who'scooking.com, and it's coming from a technical background, I might have probably gone too deep into this when I first started to design this on a technical scale, but it asked you, and it should ask you, for a zip code. And the reason why it asked for the zip code is, like I mentioned, we want to join you with chefs in your neighborhood. In order to join you with them, these chefs have to be registered in a particular vicinity. And that vicinity typically is within 20 miles, as food that travels farther than that will not stay in its fresh state. And I think we want to be able to support that sort of localized community. And 20 miles is still, actually, it's between 20 and 28 miles. That's still a long radius. It's still a big radius. So what you do need to do is enter your zip code. So as an example, I lived in Wellesley, which this is my zip code. I enter it and I press done. When you do that, the page simply refreshes. And the around the world, sort of the categories that you see, these will allow the chefs, and we market to chefs. So if you know people who want to cook on the platform, please do point them to us. And they simply just have to hit this Become a Chef button at the top right-hand side. When they do that, they establish a login, and they can establish a login using their phone or their email. And they fill out a simple onboarding form. And that onboarding form is as simple as this, that we had a chef who filled this out. We just asked them, which country are your dishes from? Do you have a nationally accredited food certificate or license? How did you hear about us? And are there any cooks that you'd like to suggest? Very simple, 4 questions. It's very easy for most chefs, hopefully, to go through this process. We don't make it very difficult on the initial go. And then we'll walk them hand in hand through anything else. So this particular chef might have given their food handler's certificate test, which is required in the state of Massachusetts. And We check it on behalf of you and to keep consumer safety in mind. And we allow them to sort of carry on with the food sampling that needs to happen. So if you do know of people, or you yourself or anybody watching this is interested in becoming a chef, as simple as hitting this button, establishing a login, and then filling out that simple onboarding form that I just showed you. And after you've entered your zip code, you'll see that there are some local favorites that show up at the bottom, and these are not, these are a subset of all of the chefs, but not all of them. So in order to really see all of them, you want to be able to click into one of these categories. So as an example, if you click Indian, you may find more chefs in one category versus another. And we encourage chefs from all sorts of categories to come in and enable themselves. But if whichever ones you find, you'll sort of click into their menu, you'll view their menu. Now you may find that there are times you click something and it says they're not cooking on a certain date. Because these are small scale micro enterprises, and like I mentioned, many of these people may be professionals who have full-time jobs, but also just busy mothers. And they don't work for us. This is their own platform. This is their own choosing. So if they're not cooking, they'll just simply mark themselves as not cooking on a particular date, and you'll see this message. However, you can simply choose from one of the days that they may be cooking. And I would also like to add that because they prepare everything for a very small subset, like Chef Tara here is preparing only 10 of these wonderful carrot kosmali dishes, they do need a 2-day notice, a 48-hour notice. So if you wanted to place an order today is February 27th, the next day she's able to cook is Wednesday, March 2nd. But if you do plan slightly ahead, the food will be delivered to your doorstep just in time for dinner, and she will have enough time to procure the proper ingredients. So going back to that, if you were to click, again into the Indian category, you might see many, many chefs, and they have a great amount of dishes. Some of them may feature something that is celebrating a certain cultural event that's happening. For example, in the Indian cultural event, we have Holi, which is coming up, which is a festival of colors in March. And some of our chefs will design dishes that is particularly relevant to that celebration, which is a great way to share some culture with any family, that you can let them know, the country of India is celebrating the Festival of Colors today. These are typically foods that are eaten on that day, and simply order from one of these chefs during that time. So you may find that if you go into one of the categories that a chef is maybe making just one dish, or perhaps there are not many chefs that are present. And that is because, again, these are micro scale enterprises. We allow the chefs to choose anything that they are doing and which day they want to do it. We encourage them to show a variety of dishes so you as a consumer have options, but that's not always possible for them. So, please respect that these are not restaurants. They're doing this just for the love of being able to share that. So I wanted to also just mention that we will be doing a UI change, which means the front page of what you see right now on this site will slightly be changing in the upcoming weeks, hopefully for the betterment of the consumers that are using it, so you have a better user experience. But I encourage you to go on and also let us know at talk, TALK, the number 2, us, at who'scooking.com, and I'll just type that here so we know if there's any issues logging into the site or any technical issues, simply just email us at talktous@who'scooking.com. Our email address is also at the bottom, I believe, right here where it says contact us. And we have a toll-free number also. So we were encouraging people to log in, at least establish a login, try ordering. But if you have any issues technically, we have a 1-800 number. We have our email listed at the bottom of the site on the footer section. So feel free to contact us. We're more than happy to help. So Pratibha, I'll hand it over again, some questions. Or Susan, can I answer anything else from you? Were there any other questions that are relevant on your mind?
No, just listening to you, I think that it's a very good system. I mean, we all live such busy lives. So the fact that you've set this up, or that the system is set up to make it possible for these chefs to still provide some of their services and still be able to do the things that they need in their life as well. I think that I think that's I think it's such a wonderful idea and a wonderful system. Otherwise, it's hard to get people to commit to certain things because they have so many other things that are going on in their lives. In this way, they are still able to.
Yes. And, you know, honestly, it is affordable also. Most of these dishes are, you know, really packed for 1 or 2 people. You can, of course, order more if you have a family that might eat it. But what makes it really nice is the quantity is sufficient enough that if you're just a single person and you wanted to really find this off the road type of hard to find type of product, you can just order it for yourself to start with. And it's fairly affordable, and it's just a nice way to be able to at least give it a shot. Try it and see what you like. Try multiple types of meals that they come from so many regions that you may want to try an African chef one day, and you may want to try an Indian chef one day, and you may want to try a Filipino chef one day or a Vietnamese. But it's nice that it allows you to do that all from one place.
Yes, I agree. Very much so.
Yeah.
And these are recipes and dishes that you would otherwise not find anywhere else unless you travel to the country and go to that specific home which might be producing these dishes, or might have been handed down through your grandmothers and mothers. And so I think there is a lot that the chefs are offering, which would typically not be something that you would be able to experience normally. And I think that is what makes this platform very unique and very special. I mean, for me, again, getting associated or being associated with Who's Cooking was primarily because of my love for food. I love to cook. I enjoy cooking, and I enjoy the art of cooking, right? So I enjoy the process. I enjoy what it brings to your table. I mean, during the pandemic, as I was cooking for my family with limited chances of escape to other countries, I realized that I created those memories and nostalgia and escapes on my dining table. Right. And I think that is what Who's Cooking is also trying to bring to you. It's saying that, hey, you can't go back home, but we will bring you the flavor so that you could have that conversation on your table about how your mother put this together for you as you were growing up. And I think that's very special.
Yes.
I agree.
Thank you, Gitanjali. Yes, well said. It is.
Yeah. So, you know, go ahead, Manisha. You're saying something.
No, please.
No, I think Manisha mentioned right in the beginning about Ayurveda. So I just want to make clear that I represent Ayurveda, but the Wholistic Health Alliance basically represents all of those natural, traditional wisdom, traditions, lineages that bring common sense, health choices, practices to the community. So it's not just Ayurveda. Just want to make sure Holistic Health Alliance basically showcases anything, any effort towards health and well-being, because I think everyone will agree that we are more sick world, more of a sicker world than a healthier world in many ways. And just the way everything is defined for us. For example, one of my pet pursuits is to change the definition of success from money and material to health and happiness. Because the way we define success really drives a lot of things. Because right now, all of our younger population is looking at this definition of health, most of them. And that is what shapes their pursuits. How are they looking at life? What are they pursuing? Food gets sidelined in that. Rest, restoration, sleep, these kind of things get sidelined in that kind of pursuit. Whereas if success is defined as health and happiness, money will come, but it will come in the right way,
Absolutely. Yeah.
so that's the larger vision. And that is why, for me, something like Who's Cooking is a very important platform. Manisha and I have been in touch for 3 years at least, Manisha, because the
Yeah.
last the last health fair we did was in
I remember.
2019, if you
Yes.
remember. That's 3 years ago, so I think this was cooking for a long time, pun intended. But now it's finally there, and everything that Gitanjali said is very true. That and Susan, that we want to see. Oftentimes we don't know. When we do know, the time is a limitation. So then a platform like this is so important, and you are a little different from so many others that have come up, chef, and I don't know the names, and I haven't used any of those, because you are also bringing in this extra focus on the quality of what is being offered. And I think that will be your differentiator, Manisha, in the long run.
Yes,
Because
thank
because for example, I have a large clientele, and Susan knows a lot of my focus is on really finding that time to boil something yourself, boil something real, even if it means boiling, even if you're not making an elaborate dish, but something real. And for me, a platform like this is going to be a big boon to refer to my clients, because this is exactly what I'm telling them. Spend money. This is not an expense. It's an investment in your health. You're eating something that's healthy, that's wholesome, that's nutritious, and it connects you with your traditions,
Yeah. And more important, also
yeah.
support, and I'll just add in there, we truly care about the people who are cooking on the platform too. So any help, we all come from different walks in life. And like you mentioned, Pratibha, the true understanding of our world is having empathy for everything, our planet, our body, the people that we are exposed to, because not everyone is blessed equally, and we all know this. So sometimes, and someone who comes to a country and doesn't have the right skill sets, although we, maybe my parents, when I came, did a lot of the hardships for me, so I didn't have to deal with it at my stage. But what I do know is that when we help the people in our community and you buy from them, that dollar you're spending goes even an extra mile. You got locally cooked food, like you mentioned, Pratibha, much healthier, but you supported somebody that truly gains more from it.
Yes. So that there also, I think, Wholistic Health Alliance and Who's Cooking missions are quite aligned, because Susan is one of our long-standing members and beneficiary also, and she knows that we had a picnic in 2018. Everything was compostable,
Wonderful.
recyclable.
Great.
And we really make sure, all of our member dinners so far pre-COVID always have been holistically catered by someone local. Everything that you're saying we have been doing, but not exclusively like you are doing. So it's very, very, very aligned with what Wholistic Health Alliance is pursuing, is the
Wonderful.
health of the planet and health of the people, both at the same time, because they are intertwined. They are not separate from one another. You can't have an unhealthy planet and healthy people. So I'm really happy, and I would love to see the platform flourish and grow. And I have personally participated in making
you
sure
have.
the
Thank
word
you.
gets out, and looking forward to, of course, utilizing more than anything else the platform. And I know Gitanjali, if I knew she's joining, for sure I would have told her, please show some of your presentations of your dishes, which just presentations are amazing. They can be enough to entice someone to order.
Yes, and on that note, Pratibha, we will be enabling Who's Cooking to allow these people to also become teachers. So if you really enjoy a dish and you want to learn how to make it, we will allow them. They are at, it's like my mother is. Many times I need a recipe, I'll call her up. How much do I, what do I do here? How do I make this? So we will allow that to happen through high streaming data. So you and an individual, you're sitting in your kitchen, they can teach you step by step, this dish you've tasted, you enjoy it, you want to learn how to make it. You can have them give you a demo.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole idea again behind Who's Cooking and Wholistic Health Alliance is about it's a complete package, right? It's about your health, your mental health, your physical health, the health of the planet, what we eat. We are just striving to be a better person for ourselves and make the world a better person for you, better place for you, right? I mean, I'm a huge believer of holistic health, of Ayurveda, and I practice it quite diligently in my life. And I've actually seen quite a few miracles happen in my past where I have followed things, and that has transformed my life. So I believe in it, and that's why I also joined Manisha on the platform, because I see the differences that it can make to your everyday life, right? To the lives of our chefs who we bring on. Again, it's a very women's driven platform so far. And we encourage women to get that financial independence, again, for their own sake of feeling strong and feeling independent. And like you said, that I see a lot of alignment in terms of our philosophy, in terms of what we are trying to achieve. And I think it's a good platform, and it's a good partnership that we have. Yeah, a good partnership and vision that we have together.
Yes, thank you, Gitanjali. So
thank you, Gitanjali.
Yes, I think all in all, very, very exciting. And I like this new possibility of the teaching. I think you will be creating a lot of mompreneurs.
I hope so. That's, yeah, not mom. I mean, we definitely, like Gitanjali said, that's what it is now. But honestly, I think it can be, dadpreneurs, it can be mompreneurs, it can be whatever you'd like. It's not limited. We are here for everyone. We don't want to just do this for the economic benefits of a platform. Anything we do, we're doing it for the health of our community. So, thank you.
Mental and physical.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, I think we are at the end of another really uplifting, invigorating, and revitalizing meeting. And I'm sure everybody who watches this in the days to come will feel the same, and will be able to go on to the website who'scooking.com. I think that's a very easy website to remember. You don't have to really look up or anything. Who'scooking.com.
Isn't that the perennial question, right? Every household, every time. It's
who is cooking,
right? So we made it very simple.
No, I think that's a very, catchy and very rememberable name. And also, if you're looking outside of the family, who's cooking in my vicinity, it makes a lot of sense. So anybody who's watching, please do check out the website, and also check out Wholistic Health Alliance. We are all trying to work towards the same end goal of making a healthy community, a healthy planet. So with that, wishing everyone health and peace. We'll see you next month in another community talk. So these talks are monthly, and they're all free. So
thank you. Pratibha, it was so nice to be on. Thank you for having us.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gitanjali. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
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 Manisha, you want to stay? Oh, Manisha has dropped off. Okay.
Yeah.
No worries. All right, dears.
Good seeing you, Pratibha.
Same here.
I haven't